Near the beautiful North York Moors, in the pretty town of Kirby Moorside, lives auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
480, 480, 480 in the room.
Wow. With his hard-working team...
There we go.
Angus has grown his auction house into a thriving business.
This is an interesting piece. 2 cherubs. Not you two, is it?
When he's not on his rostrum...
We're off on another job again.
Again.
He's clearing cluttered homes...
I'll start having a rummage and see what we can find.
Great.
...in search of unwanted items to go under his gavel.
The West Riding of York, 1610. See my house.
Have a look at everything, but there's all sorts of stuff.
OK.
Using his expert knowledge...
The more and more I go through this, the value's totting up.
He finds hidden treasures...
This is what I'm in the business for.
...and uncovers forgotten heirlooms.
Looks like me on a dance floor.
Taking them back to the sale room...
Is it shiny?
Is it shiny?
Wow.
Angus, am I allowed to use this?
Put it down, that's mine.
He auctions these once-cherished items...
These were all just sat in the loft.
Gathering dust.
...making their owners a very...
£740.
...pretty...
I'm just astonished.
...penny.
At 900. Woohoo!
In the old days, they would have had really large hats. They would need to go all the way through.
And the detail along the top's lovely.
As ever, the entire team are getting ready for the next auction, leaving Angus to find new items to sell.
Pete,
Yeah.
got to get going.
Right.
Got to go to Huddersfield. Furniture and all sorts, so obviously big van. Nick, you're up to your eyeballs, aren't you?
Yeah, we're quite busy.
Right, looks like me and thee. Come on. Bah, yuck. Bit wild today, isn't it?
Angus and Pete will have to battle the elements to get to their clearance, 75 miles away in Huddersfield.
It's a bit of a wet old miserable day, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I do like driving in this weather, though. When it's
you?
wet. Yeah, I do. It's just something out of the ordinary.
They're on their way to meet Steve and his wife Amanda. Sadly, 6 months ago, Steve's mum Irene passed away.
She was always so lively and yet very classy. She filled the room with her presence, didn't she?
Definitely.
She loved a party. Such a lovely person and so loving and affectionate to us. We always felt wrapped in her warmth and love.
They've recently begun the daunting process of sorting out her former home, which Irene had filled with items that she loved. And with a sale already agreed on the property, today they're hoping Angus can help them clear out some of her possessions.
She always found it lovely collecting knickknacks and she's had beautiful taste. So lots of things in the house look curious and interesting.
Any money we raise from the auction will go on a big party to celebrate Mum's life because it's definitely what she would have wanted to do with the money. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Come on in.
Oh, so your parents' house, is that
It's my
right?
mum and dad's house. They both passed away now.
OK, so it's a case of you having to move the property on, are you?
Yes.
Right.
So it's a case of everything must go. There are items that have post-it notes on them. They've
Right.
been selected items that family and friends would like.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
anything without a post-it note on, you're welcome to.
OK, wonderful. That's okay. Well, that's very organised. Makes our life a lot easier. Have this been your parents' family home for a long time? Or
This is where I grew
family
up.
home?
This is my family home. Yeah.
OK.
I remember a lot in this room is very much a room of parties, especially
Right.
around Christmas.
Yeah.
This chair.
So that actually came from my granddad's. As a child, at any family gathering, you're either on the floor or the most uncomfortable chair.
Yeah.
That was the most uncomfortable chair. I speak from experience.
At least it's got a reasonable sized seat, because
It has,
sometimes
yeah.
you're perched on a little... I mean, it's Edwardian. It's probably from about sort of 1910, you know, just after the turn of the century. You know, mahogany. Somebody might buy it who's just starting to get into upholstery to redo the seat. It's a small piece that somebody would work on. They're not very comfy. You're really selling it.
Yeah, I'll leave that bit to you.
Steve's parents were a match made in their local high street, with Dad Norman, the village pharmacist, and Mum Irene, the owner of a clothes shop. They lived here together until Norman passed away 7 years ago. It's a home that holds precious memories for Steve and Amanda.
She had such a joie de vivre and a love of life, and she collected things that reminded her of all the happy times.
I came up and looked after her, and then we ended up getting her admitted to hospital. And within a week, sadly, she passed away. She said to me, which was, at the time, was the worst conversation I've ever had, was that she said, we need to say goodbye. Excuse me. And that was a very tricky conversation. It was a lovely conversation. It is now a beautiful memory, but at the time it was horrible. Welcome to the snug.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
So that actually came from, my dad was a pharmacist.
Right.
He was the pharmacist in the village. We're still using those drawers and obviously many others to keep all the medication in.
I mean, they are superb chemist drawers and very, very popular.
Really?
That's in fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's Erin?
She's my daughter.
Well, I appreciate that's probably not, to go, but it's
We'll
nice
see.
to see it. We'll have a look round and I'll best go get Pete and we'll make a start, if that's
Okay.
all right.
While Pete starts packing, Angus can't resist a final glance at the one that got away.
Often is the case, I go into a house and I see something I love, it's not for sale. Erin wants to keep it. This is a bit of a grandfather's heritage. He was a chemist and I totally get that. It's a joy in my job, as much as we'd like them to sell because we're a business, is to just see nice things. And that is the nicest thing I've seen this week.
Would have made good money too. Time to pull yourself away, Angus. There's plenty of stuff here that is to go.
I love collections of sticks because they transcend a lot of time and sort of social history. And we've got this huge range from this one here, very Victorian with this ebonised shaft and these little silver mounts, very typical of a Victorian stick. This black finish is known as ebonised, so it gives the look of ebony, which is very expensive, heavy wood material, without actually being ebony. And that's just a very elegant walking cane. A lot of countryside sticks are made from bits of wood they'd find around, so you'll see some with birds on it. They're made from blackthorn, and then the handles will be made from all sorts. And again, you keep using locally found resources.
My dad had a fascination of walking sticks long before he ever needed a walking stick. So he would get them as gifts off people. He would buy them himself. Anything from knick-knacks, bric-a-brac shops through to antique shops, or when they're on holiday, you could usually find him by the walking sticks.
What we'll do is we'll split this into a number of lots. If you look at it as a collection, there's got to be 100, 200 pounds there. Yep.
Unfortunately, for Angus and Pete, not everything is as light to load as the walking sticks.
Are you sure we emptied this?
Yeah, I know it's heavy, isn't it?
Solid.
We've just loaded up some furniture, including this stag minstrel bedroom furniture. And, stag furniture started being produced in the 1950s, and the minstrel range was made from a African cherry wood, which gives it its colour. It's lost popularity from what it used to be. That sort of darker wood's gone out and people are preferring more of a lighter wood. But it was very good quality and well made. So it still sells well and hopefully we'll get a good price for it all.
Yeah, I'm going to keep those. I like those.
The search of a sideboard reveals some more items not already earmarked by relatives.
St. Michael, so that's actually Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's, a well-known name, but they had a brand called St. Michael, and that ran from 1927 to 2000. That did a lot of homewares, dinnerware, like this dinner service, which is a Connaught pattern. Of course, you can't get it anymore, so it's going to be quite desirable. We'll get a good price for it.
As the former family home starts to empty,
How many have you done?
it It's a lot to take in for Steve.
This is now the end of a very big chapter in my life. I know the last time I shut the front door and hand the keys over to the estate agents, it'll be a big day. It will be. It's, as I say, I've been associated with this house for over 40 years. Lived here on and off for 38, and massive part of my life.
As Angus and Pete finish loading the last of Irene's possessions, Steve and Amanda are brought one step closer to the end of the chapter.
Yeah, it's feeling very bare.
It is empty, yeah.
Feels a bit weird. Excuse me.
It's all right. No, it's fine. It's always I think a tricky time, isn't it? But
It is.
It feels a bit stark.
Yes.
Suddenly, especially going in the other room and walking into here and just seeing the floor and even the pattern on the floor, which we never really saw. And you sort of realise that, you know, everything's going and we're having to move forward.
But I think what is quite nice, I think, unlike quite a lot of jobs we go to, is that there's family interest there and you're keeping a lot of items and people are keeping that. It's not all gone.
No, it's not all gone.
No.
She's not completely gone, has she?
No.
She'll always be with us, and bits of her stuff will be as well.
I think that's a nice thing to say, actually. I'd not thought of it that way before, that everybody was taking things away as well. Yeah, no, I like that.
Well, I'll hit the road and we'll see you on auction day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thanks,
Bye.
Angus. Bye-bye.
It's just over a month until the items cleared from Steve's family home go under the gavel, giving the auction house team time to carefully research and catalogue the unique walking sticks, quality furniture, and the more unusual discoveries.
Oh, yeah. What's this up?
God, that's unbelievable.
Looks like we have a mystery on our hands.
Come on, let's go find Jeremy.
Sale room manager Jeremy is the perfect person to take a look.
So what do you know about it then, Pete?
Absolutely nothing, that's why I'm asking you.
This gentleman was in the side order of Freemasonry.
The briefcases contain regalia of the Freemasons, a fraternal organisation dating back to the 1500s that these days focuses on charitable works.
They have these very, very fancy sashes here.
Yeah.
Jeremy's also uncovered a rare Freemason medal known as a jewel.
It's a lovely medal. So that he has been the worshipful master of the lodge, and his lodge is well, it's obviously in Lancashire, Western Division. I'm definitely fascinated by this one because I want to know whether this one's gold.
And if the jewel does turn out to be gold, this would be a huge find for Steve and Amanda.
Oh, morning. How's things going? Are they all right?
Yeah, good. House is sold. We just
Oh, okay, great.
still need to finish emptying it, but
Right.
You've helped a lot.
you've helped a lot by what you've taken. So.
Good, good. Well, come inside and have a look round.
When Amanda and Steve handed over the Freemasons' cases, they had no idea of the pieces that were inside. Angus is keen for them to talk to Jeremy about the treasure he's uncovered.
Well, I came across these. Now, I am a Freemason, so the history of it interests me quite a lot. So these, were they a relative of yours, or?
I believe they were my granddad's.
Oh, right. Well, this is quite interesting. This is what's called a past master's jewel. So he will have been worshipful master of his lodge.
I genuinely didn't know my dad's kept the stuff.
Yes.
Kept all the regalia.
The thing is about it that the regalia, so your aprons and your sashes and that sort of thing, don't really make that much money. But these sort of things, this is probably almost like the Rolls Royce of jewels. And it's actually 18 karat gold.
Gosh.
Here we go. We like the sound of that.
So that means really that we would expect to get a lot more for the lot. So we've sort of put an estimate of 250, I think 250 to 300 on it.
Thank you very much.
That's okay.
Nice.
We handed over a box of Masonic goodies. Next thing is, he's telling us that they're valuable items that meant that Steve's granddad was a really well-esteemed person in the Masons, which was a complete surprise. We realise now that there's more on offer from that particular item, so hopefully we'll get some more money out of it.
The Freemasons regalia is just one of the 35 lots that Amanda and Steve have in the auction today.
Right then, morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Looking forward to this, yeah.
With Emma and Heather taking online bids and Nick on porter duty, it's time to go. Angus starts with the St Michael 10-piece dining set.
I've got 3 commission bids. One starts at 20, but then we go up to 80, 85, 90. £90 it is then at £90, at £90 at 90 it is then for the dinner service at 90. We're all done at 90, I'm selling away then. Commission takes it at £90.
Oh, I was going to the charity shop.
Angus was right. The M&S china did prove popular. He moves on to Irene's furniture, beginning with the Stag Minstrel bedroom suite of 2 chests of drawers and a bedroom cabinet. Angus doesn't have massively high hopes for these.
50 bid, thank you. £50 a bid. 50 at £50 it is now. 55, anywhere is it now? 55, thank you. 55, 60 is it now? At £55 at 55, 60 now is it? Good, 60 bid, £60 and bid at 60. At £60 then, we're all done at 60.
A very modest price and a bargain for a fan of dark brown furniture. Hopefully the Edwardian chair will bring the bids in.
It's a really pretty chair.
It is a really pretty chair,
It's just down there and it's
It is just down there. It's lovely, isn't it? Would look really nice in your house. I've got 4 bids of 25. Somebody go 28. At 25 it is then at 25. At 25 it is then at 25. Any advance at 25. I'm going to sell then at £25. All done at 25.
Goodbye. I'll never have to sit on it again.
That's more like it. Next up is Steve's father's walking stick collection. Angus starts with a set of 4 Victorian canes featuring hidden spirit flasks and compasses.
I've got 2 bids on this. £25 straight in at £25 at 25. 28, 32, £32 at 32 it is then at 32 for the sticks at 32. I'm selling then at 35 just in time. 35, 38 on commission then. Commission holds it at 38. All done at 38.
This lot is heading north to a collector in County Durham. Up next, a set of late 19th century walking canes.
£20 start me, £20 start me, £20 bid, 20 a bid at 22 is it now, 22 is it, 22, 25, 25, 28 is it now, 28, 30, £30 we're at £30 it is, then at 30, at 30, at 30, all online at 30.
Eclectic. It's such a mix of stuff, isn't it? No wonder we didn't know what to do with it.
Well, there's a happy bidder in Stockton-on-Tees who's glad you brought them to auction, Amanda. The last set is 5 sticks with duck and goose handles.
£10 start me, £10, 10 bid, 10 bid, 12 is it now, 12 bid surely, £12, 12, 15, thank you, 18 is it now, 18, 20, £20 at 20, at £20 at 20, at £20 at 20, at 20, at 20, all done at 20, I'm going to sell at £20.
Over the next 20 minutes, Angus flies through 8 lots of Irene's collectibles, including a Maltese vase,
£20 at 20, at £20.
a collection of mixed ceramics, including Wedgwood Jasperware,
At 32 it is then at £32, at 32, all done at 32.
and a collection of mid-20th century Chinese pieces, including a cloisonné enamel jar, 3 jade figurines, and a carved soapstone egg.
We all done at 60, I'm selling then at £60.
An eclectic mix of my mother's ornaments.
Now for the exciting Masonic find with the £250 estimate. Could this be the star of the sale?
The collection of craft and charter, Masonic regalia, including the fantastic jewel there. We are off 150, 160, 170, 180, 180, 180, 190, 200, £200, 210.
It's a bidding war between 2 people online.
240, 240, 250, 260.
It's past its estimate.
280, 280, 290, 300 at £300 at 300 at 320, 340, 340, 360, 380, 380, 380, 400 at £400 it is then at £400. £400 it is then at £400. 420, thank you, 420, 440. 440 it is at 440 at 440 at 440. 440, 460, 480, 480, 480 in the room. Three of you bidding, 500.
But now a room bidder has entered the fray.
500, 520, room bid. Room bid at 520, 540, 560. Room at 560. 580, 600.
Gosh.
620, 640, 660, 680, 700, 720, 740, 760, 780, 800, 820, 840, 860.
We didn't even know it was in the box.
920. 920, room bid at 920, was stalled at 920. At 920, two of you are bidding on the internet. Final call now, the gavel is up at £920.
A sensational result.
Good grief.
Oh my goodness me.
Thank you, Grandad.
I'd be emotional too, Steve. So who paid nearly 4 times the estimate for these Masonic goodies?
I'm a dealer and collector, and the Past Master's jewel is a rare item, especially when it's 18 karat gold. So I was very pleased to get it, despite it being expensive.
He seems happy, but how about Amanda and Steve?
Well, you're smiling, so
Yes. Very happy. Thank you.
good,
It's
good.
amazing.
All in all right. 1 or 2 surprises.
Very much so, yes.
We were absolutely shocked
Gobsmacked.
as the numbers were going up. We were kind of, really?
Well, you'll be walking away with £1,146.
Gosh.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
So that's all right, yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, you are very welcome.
Thank you.
For having us across, and yeah,
That's great.
have a good trip back.
Oh, we will.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Angus.
Thanks, Angus. Bye.
Wow. That's very impressive.
It is. What an experience it's been.
I love it when you can go to a property and find something like that, you know, pull something out that's worth £800 out of a cupboard and nobody had even realised. That's always a joy. So to raise all that money, I think they're absolutely delighted.
With an average of 5 auctions a month at Kirby Moorside, as soon as one finishes, Angus needs to stock up for the next.
We're off to London, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got to go. Just had to sort a few things out and let the dogs out and stuff before
Oh,
I go.
sorry, yeah.
All right, come on then. Talk about impatient.
Angus and Pete are driving 230 miles away to North London. Hope they're sitting comfortably. They're on the way to meet Heather and Greville, who have been married for 33 years and have 2 adult daughters.
They've asked us down to have a look at some items.
Yeah.
Got a few things, some artworks, a few bits and bobs.
Heather previously worked in publishing, and Greville is a former antiques restorer and craftsman who spent years making his own cabinets and quirky decorative pieces.
I had my own workshop and I had a small antique shop for a few years. I think people will say we're quite good fun. We like to have a laugh. We haven't grown up yet. We're working on it.
We don't go down the normal path. We will always go slightly off-piste, so to speak, because it's more fun.
3 years ago, Greville received some devastating news.
So, having been diagnosed with cancer a few years ago, I think our outlook has changed.
Things that mattered before just don't matter at all anymore. And all that matters now is just having time together and enjoying our lives.
Greville and Heather want to clear out some of the many eclectic possessions they have accumulated in their 5-bedroom home over the last 3 decades and use the profits for a special trip to see their daughter who lives in Israel.
So we're very excited that our eldest daughter is going to be having a baby, and this will be our first grandchild. And we would
Baby boy.
Baby boy. And we would like to use some of the, well, all of the money that we raise at auction to just spoil this little boy.
We're just trying to make the most of life and enjoy ourselves whilst we can, and enjoy our kids.
The pressure's on for Angus to give Greville and Heather an unforgettable trip.
Well, Pete, it's Wembley Stadium.
Wow.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit bigger than Kirby Moorside football pitch.
Hi.
Hi, you all right?
Fine,
Good morning.
thank
Good,
you.
good.
How are you? Come through.
Wow, what a room.
Yeah.
We've been here a while now. How long have we been here? 30
Nearly 30 years.
30 years.
Wow, so this really is the family home.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
And
it's
you-
been a labour of love.
How is it that, you know, we can help today?
It's time for a bit of a declutter, I think, of the bits that have been stored around the house. So, yes, yeah.
I mean, I just love, I keep looking around the room and I'm like, oh. I mean, you've got lots of interesting stuff. I mean, I can't help but notice sort of steampunky, very unusual walking stick you're
It
using.
is very steampunk. When I needed a walking stick, I had a look to see what was around, and it was pretty boring, so I decided I'd make my own. It keeps me upright.
It's even got whiskey in it, just,
We even have a bottle of whiskey in here.
just in case. 'cause you
Well,
never
I mean,
know.
it was quite a thing, you know, you think of sort of the Victorian Edwardian period where walking sticks were the norm, and actually you do quite often they have flasks in
Yes,
them and
they
hidden
do.
things.
Absolutely.
So
Or
yeah, I
knife.
mean, it's always handy, you know, when you're out cold morning, you just need a wee nip.
And if he isn't going to fall over before, he'll definitely fall over after.
I played with bits of copper and various materials to try and come up with some nice designs for walking sticks. I've still got one of them, but the others don't look right in the house, so it's time for those to go.
It's hilarious. We walk down the road and people stop and say, "Oh, we really like your stick. Can we take a photograph of it?" and things like that.
It's time for Angus to delve into some of the couple's other unusual items.
Wow, quirky room.
These paintings are the same artist. We've got a number of her paintings that we're going to put into the auction. Her name is Lilani Sperber. And she painted most of the paintings in the 80s. Unfortunately, she passed away under sad circumstances. So any money that we raise from any of the paintings that sell will go to a local mental health charity.
That's lovely. Yeah, it'd be good to have a look at those and see what we can do on those. You know, I think the artwork is going to be hard work. I'm going to have my work cut out there. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but hopefully we can mark it right and get a good price. I'm interested to see what else they've got.
With over 30 paintings to go today, Angus starts Pete on the packing,
Wow.
giving him time to check out Greville's old workshop where he used to restore antiques.
There's some good stuff in here. I mean, this looks like something he's possibly made. That's actually quite cool. An old press. But tools, and the right tools, can sell very well. There's some nice early woodworking tools, and there's these wood-turning chisels. You'd have a wood-turning lathe that spins the wood, and then you would use these to then shape the wood.
Old, but usable, and will sell.
And then we've got something like this,
That's a genius.
which, yeah, it's different. It's different, but that sums up this house. It's great. So we'll get those loaded up and we'll see what else we can find.
I think Angus has probably got his work cut out with some of the stuff that we're putting into auction.
Works of art, tools, Greville's wacky creations. Is that a small chair? There's a mad mix of things heading to Yorkshire today.
So this is a carom board, which is an Indian game.
Okay.
And it's played with small pieces that are like draft piees.
Okay, so it's almost like a billiards
Absolutely.
sort of thing.
It's like
Yeah.
billiards, but without billiard balls, but with draft pieces instead.
Yeah, brilliant. Right. Well, do you know, that's the thing I love about this job, is every day you learn something new.
Yeah.
I'll go get those in the van.
After 5 hours packing 68 items onto the van, Angus and Pete are ready to face the 4-hour trip home.
So it doesn't look a lot on the van, but there's a little bit of space.
It's a big van, though. So,
It is a big van, yeah. And how do you sort of feel sitting going?
That's actually quite tough, because some of those were my very first tools when I became an apprentice back in 1980. So, yeah, it goes back a long way.
Well, we'll see you up in Yorkshire on auction day.
Yes.
I'll hit the road with Pete because it's soon be dark, but thank you very much.
Have a safe journey
Thank
back.
you. Drive
We look forward to
carefully.
seeing you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
We've had quite a day, and, you know, they're one of the most loveliest couples I've ever met. I really hope we can do well for them. The artwork's going to be the challenge, really. Not by a particularly well-known artist. That's always going to be a struggle, but it's my job to get the best price for them, and if we market them in the right way, hopefully we'll find some enthusiasts there that will buy these pictures.
The day after the clearance job at Greville and Heather's, it's time for the team at Kirby Moorside to investigate their unusual treasures. Outdoor sales manager Mark is helping Pete.
Some toolage.
Wow. Oh, they're nice, then. Yeah, oh, that'll keep us busy.
It's a plane.
They play. Some of these can be quite valuable. I'm just looking for a name which I can't quite see yet, but I'll strip it down and have a look.
Pardon me? It takes just 25 minutes to unload Greville and Heather's 68 items from the van. But then the real work begins, researching and cataloguing them. Valuer and art enthusiast Charlotte casts her expert eye over the paintings by Leilani Sperber.
I think the lighting is interesting and the colours that she's used on this painting. It looks almost rainy, the way it's painted. It's definitely not what we've seen come through before.
Both Angus and Charlotte are concerned that an entire collection from an unknown artist may not appeal to bidders.
Although not a particularly well-known artist, you know, there's clearly a talent there. So I think we'll put some fairly conservative estimates in it to entice the bidders in, and I think what we'll do is, rather than flood the market by putting them all in one sale, is we'll put a selection in and sort of drip feed them in and build up that sort of interest in the artist.
Angus will put just a small selection of Leilani Sperber's paintings into the upcoming auction first. But will any sell? With a month until the auction, sale room manager Jeremy is assessing the value of Greville's walking sticks with the help of his 22-year-old son and auction house team member Jasper.
So you might have to explain to me what steampunk is.
It was a genre of retro-futuristic science fiction. So a blend of kind of modern technology, but if it looked like it had been made sort of in the industrial era. So
I see.
You know, sort of.
So in the age of steam.
Steampunk fiction is often set in the Victorian era, featuring steam-powered inventions like those written about by Jules Verne and H.G. Wells. It's inspired a large group of followers who, like Greville, often make their own accessories and even clothing for events and conventions.
Hence the use of all these valves and dials and the gauge. It's just,
the gauge is really
just
nice.
superb.
It's full steam ahead for the team to get the items checked, photographed and uploaded to the online auction catalogue. On a misty morning, Greville and Heather have made the long trip to Yorkshire to see how their items fare.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, you all right?
Yeah. We've been here for a couple of days now. We're going home with more than we came with, but
right. And the auction hasn't even started.
No,
no.
And there was me hoping to clear some stuff, and he's gone shopping.
I best get you in the warm and have a look round.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Heather and Greville might be excited for today's sale.
Wow. This is huge.
But for this former furniture restorer, it's a journey back in time.
Tools. I'll buy some for the workshop. Many an hour spent with these tools, that's for sure. Takes them back. There's an old hot glue pot I used to use all the time, actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
The smell of the old glue.
It was revolting.
Yeah, disgusting.
I'm actually feeling a bit sad. It's like the end of an era. You know, his tools and his workshop were him. You know, they were integral to him and who he was, and he's not the same person anymore, and it's really sad. He had the most incredible skill, the most incredible craftsmanship, and it's gone, and it'll go with him. No, take it off. You're not wearing that.
Taking online bids for Angus on the rostrum today are George and Harriet, with Jasper on porter duty. Greville and Heather have 37 lots in the sale and are hoping to raise enough extra cash to take that trip to Israel and see their baby grandson. It's time for the auction to begin. First up are Greville's workshop tools.
This little run of tools come from a very good antique restorer. There we go. Where should be for this?
Beginning with an assortment of planes, a doweling jig and a joint master.
We start at 50. £50 a bid, straight in at 50. 5, 65, £65. At £65, at 65 it is, then at £65. We're all done at 65 quickly now. The gavel is up at 65.
Snapped up by an online bidder and craftsman an hour west in Bedale.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
You're
fine.
happy?
Yeah, it's good.
Greville's wood-turning chisels are up next.
Some good bits in there. 45, 48, £50 wrap. At 50 on commission, at 50 it is. 50 at 50, all done at 50.
Also bought by the Bedale craftsman.
It's like when you give away a kidney. You want to know it's gone to a good home, it's going to be well used.
And from the tools to the results of Greville's handiwork, his homemade steampunk walking sticks.
The lot you've all been waiting for. There we go. £25 a bid, at 25 it is, then at £25. At 25 it is, then at £25. They're a bit different. 28, 30, 2, 32, 35, 35, 38, 38, 40 is it now? £40, 42, 42, 5 is it now? 45, no, 42 it is, then at £42. At 42 it is, then at 42.
These two sticks are off to a steampunk enthusiast in Leominster.
Very good.
That was really good.
Brilliant.
There's obviously an appetite online for the couple's more eccentric items. Angus seizes the moment with the traditional Indian game of carom.
32, 2, 2, 32, 32, 35, 38, £38. At £38 it is, then at £38. I'm selling then at 58.
Next is a bowler hat.
Selling then at £28. Thank you.
Well, at least there's no chance of you ever wearing it now. It's worth everything.
And Greville's unusual sculpture going on sale alongside an Art Deco child's chair.
£25 at 25 it is, then at £25 at 25.
The auction is going well so far, and Angus moves on to the bulk of Greville and Heather's items, the paintings, which Angus worries might be tricky to sell.
These are the ones from...
Lilani Sperber.
Yeah. Yes, we want this to make a lot.
Yeah.
The more it makes, the
The more
better.
it makes, the better.
The money made from the paintings will go to a mental health charity. But will Greville and Heather's masterpieces make mega prices?
It's a bit suggestive.
Let's hope it suggests good sales.
There we go, the lady and the cats in the sort of foliage. There we go. Where should be for that one? Bit different, isn't it? There we go. £30 start me. 30 straight in. 30, 32, 32. It's off on the net. It would be, wouldn't it? £35, £38, 38 is it? 40, £40 at 42 is it now? £42 at 45, 45, 48 is it now? £48 is it now? £48, 50, 50 a bit at 55 is it now? £55 surely at 55, 60 at 65 is it now? At 65 anywhere now? At £60 it is then. At 60 it is then. At £60 at 65 a fresh bid.
Fantastic.
Really good.
At £65 £65 it is then. That's £65 then. That's 65.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Over the next 5 minutes, Angus puts 4 other Lilani Sperber paintings under the gavel.
£40. We all done at 40. 40. At £40.
Making a total of £160.
Brilliant.
Yeah, very good.
This is really good.
Finally, there is just one painting left.
Painting whilst waiting for the dog.
This one's been up in our house.
The dog's got lost if you can paint that in that time, isn't it? There we go. There's a lot going on in that one, the abstract there. There we go, where it should be, £30. £30 a bit at 30 it is, then at £30. At 30 it is, 32, thank you. At 32 it is, then at 32, 35, 35, 38, 40, 2, 5.
One man in the sale room is eager to back this one.
Yeah, go on, it's for charity.
8. 48 it is, then at 48. Selling that at £48 at 48.
So that's really good. We're going to have a lot to give them.
We're really excited about that.
This is so great.
But how great? Time to find out from Angus the total money raised from the rostrum.
Well, you're smiling, so that's good.
That is great. Yeah, fun.
I am so pleased that the Lilani Sperber paintings went and
for a good price.
Yeah.
We're really pleased with that.
it's going to have a following all around England soon.
Absolutely. All in all, I think it's been okay. You'll be walking away with £882.
Fantastic.
Are you sure? That's an awful lot.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it tots up.
Oh, that's great.
Very good.
That's really good.
Really good.
Well, enjoy Yorkshire and safe trip back to London.
Absolutely, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm absolutely delighted that we managed to sell those pictures so well. There's clearly a market for them, and we've still got more to go that will go in a future sale, and that's going to raise even more money for Greville and Heather and the charity that they're giving the proceeds to.
With £273 from the selling of Lilani Sperber's paintings going to charity and £609 going towards 2 tickets to Israel, it's been a good day.
It went really well, I was surprised.
It was good to see that Mark 1 and Mark 2 of my walking sticks sold, but I've still got the best one, Mark 3.
And who knows what Mark 4 will be like.
You never know. All singing, all dancing.
A few weeks on from their auction, how are Steve and Amanda feeling about it?
It was a relief, really. Saying relief, it sounds perhaps a little bit dramatic, but it was, there's a calmness afterwards. It felt right. Mum would have loved it, wouldn't she? I think she would have loved the whole experience herself if she'd been able to be there.
She'd have been tickled. When we were sat at the auction and the value was going up and up and up on the medals, I could imagine she would have been there jumping up and down.
And it's created more memories. And Mum and Dad are part of those memories. So we will organise something, probably for in the summer. Mum, unfortunately, we didn't get to celebrate her 75th birthday, so we've some partying to catch up on.